All right, welcome guys. We are in the last week of the Open here. We're doing a little bit of a split call here because I have travel for this week, so we're bringing you a Zoom Riverside call for this last Open workout breakdown. But we have a fun one this week. I know there's a lot of leaks going on or perceived leaks going on. I think I saw like three or four different variations of the workout got sent to me. But we had nothing confirmed until now. And this one, honestly, really good workout. One of the best workouts they put out in a really long time. So super excited to see people kind of executing and getting after this one. Griffin, what are some of your initial thoughts here?
Better not pace like they did. Uh,
Don't be Tyson.
yeah, don't be Tyson. Tyson did a great job,
Yeah.
but he got into the hype and went way too hard in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ultimately, it's just calculating and being smart on like dissect each piece of this, right? Go ahead and write it out. Look at the workout. First big piece for a lot of people is like wall walks.
Mhm.
It's all, I mean, what is it? 15,
25
20,
total.
25 wall walks, right? That's a good amount of wall walks for people. And right there, a lot of people can lose a lot of time.
Hmm.
So if you're able to do them quickly and efficiently, which is another big point, is practicing your wall walk like positions with your feet
Hmm.
and your hands and making sure that's exact every time is a big piece. But keeping those super consistent, right? Because if you blow up on a wall walk and you like can't go up, you might sit there for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So you don't want to have that. You need to have consistency on your wall walks. The first row is not as important as people are probably thinking about. It's important in the sense of don't go hard.
Yep.
Don't set yourself up for failure in that workout, right?
Hmm.
You can go a lot. You can take 100 calories an hour off your effort and do a lot better in this workout
Hmm.
in the first one. The last one you got to send it,
Yeah.
but and then barbell, learning your breathing patterns, your movement patterns, deciding what you're going to do on that bar. Deadlifts, everyone's going to be a little bit different.
Hmm.
But if you watch Dallin, like he was executed the workout entirely like perfectly. No one's going to be able to keep that tempo and pace, but find that strategy,
Hmm.
right? So deadlifts, he went 5 by 5. He didn't rest; he just dropped the bar and picked it right back
Right.
up. But people can play off that and rest there in that break.
Hmm.
You can also do singles, but you need to decide how consistent you want to be.
Hmm.
The cleans, singles. Don't hang on the bar.
Yep.
Just no. Hopper is great, a great athlete. He hung onto the bar and didn't gain time on Dallin, who went
Yeah.
singles across the board.
Yep. Yep.
So, and then the snatches. Most people probably won't be able to hold on to 5 by 5, but you can do singles there too. But you need to follow the bar and just be nice and consistent and steady across the board.
Hmm.
And then like it's basically just CrossFit of being consistent
Hmm.
and then sending it for 50 calories at the end.
Yep. Yeah, I think if you're starting to dissect some of those guys' workout, like the big difference between Jason and Dolan, obviously Dolan beat him by a lot, but is the fatigue factor of Jason trying to hold on to reps. So Dolan was a lot fresher for those snatches in the final row. Like honestly, the
Mm-hmm.
snatches, the final wall walks, and the final row, Dolan kind of pulled away there, but also his speed of reps were
Mm-hmm.
significantly faster on both the deadlifts and the snatches because he knew he had that kind of quasi break coming for those singles in the power clean. Um, so yeah, I think, if you're building a model off of this, I think Dolan did it perfectly. Not saying to move as fast as him,
Mm-hmm.
but he definitely like this. If you're breaking down a workout, he paced it pretty much perfectly. There's probably going to be a couple people that can move a bar a little bit faster, like shorter range of motion, that'll probably end up, beating him, or they're a little bit quicker on their wall walks for range of motion that end up beating him. But as far as like execution and pacing standpoint, he was pretty much spot on. I would just say build your model off of him, but slow everything down.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go sets of five on the deadlift, um, but plan a longer break in between your sets. Then I would say once you get to 3 sets, so that 15 number, take a longer break. Go get more chalk or something like that. Step away from your bar a little bit more, almost force yourself to get that break in, and a little bit longer break so that you are recovering a little bit more because you're not even halfway through the workout at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
The snatches, I would probably do the same thing if you're going sets of five on those. Take a longer break on those after that third round, and then definitely go five singles at the end there to give yourself a little bit of time to recover. It's not gonna, might not feel like it, but that will make a huge difference to recover from versus holding another set of five for you to push on that final row. Um, that final row is going to be gross. You should absolutely send that shit too. If you need to,
Yep.
like give yourself five, anywhere from like 3 to 7 calories to recover, and then you're in it. That is it. Like you're for
Mm-hmm.
45 or 43 calories, you are just chugging on that thing. So, Griffin, any other thoughts on pacing or?
I would say the biggest thing people probably aren't like thinking of it this way. There are 75 hinging barbell
Mhm,
motions almost in a row.
mhm,
You're getting 5 wall walks to break through,
mhm,
right? And ideally, if you're consistent, it's going to take you 20 to 30 seconds to do your wall walks and you're right back on a bar, right? 25, 25, 25.
mhm,
So any of you guys that are looking out to be like, "Oh, I'm just going to cruise on the deadlifts and move fast," and you need to start looking at you're going 75, almost 75
mhm.
reps in a row with a 30-second active recovery.
Right.
That's gonna blow up blow up your arms,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um, so like that's what's most important is looking at that and not getting too don't get too hyped up to be like, oh, I'm gonna send it here. Like don't like consistency is your best friend.
Hmm.
Learning how to be consistent on the bar. But I think like the break, like if you do 3 sets of 5 and go get chalk, because you're probably gonna start getting it to that red line area with 15 reps. You can kind of bring it back, recover, and keep that consistent so you don't break that line. If you break that line, you're toast for this workout.
Yeah. And I think another area that you can actually kind of capitalize on taking a little bit longer on is those wall walks where you come down, maybe throw your hands out to the side, get a little break,
Mm-hmm.
and then start that next rep. You're still going to want to be around that 4 second, 5 second mark on your reps would be ideal. Because those are just time under tension, but take a little bit longer between your reps than what they did. Like, they were
Mm-hmm.
coming down, hands on the line, chest touches the ground, they're going right back up. It doesn't need to be you. You can take a second, throw the hands out to the side, bring them back, hit your next wall walk, come back down, hands out to the side, back in, hit your next rep. And you can take the time to recover because, like Griffin was saying, 75 reps in a row is basically what it is. You can take the time to recover a little bit more, breaking up those or taking a little bit longer rest on those wall walks as well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
last little piece is definitely like Griffin mentioned this earlier. Don't be Tyson. He came like Tyson is a very fit dude. Uh, he plays in the NFL, so he has to have good genetics. But you see what happens when somebody who is good at the sport comes out way too hot and tries to keep up with elite athletes. Like use that as an example of, or sorry, elite athletes in CrossFit who practice the sport all the time. Use that as an example as what they did is not sustainable for the grand majority of people. If you want to get your best score possible, and even especially if you're on that kind of bubble cut line of making those in affiliate or in affiliate semifinals, you got to be smart about how you pace this workout because if you pace this workout correctly, you're going to beat people that come out hot like Tyson did on both their attempts, thinking they just need to suffer more, and you're going to get, you're going to break through that plateau and get that spot. So um, don't be Tyson, be smart, plan your rest accordingly. Um, Griff, what else you got? I think we're gonna hit on some breathing pattern stuff here.
Yeah. And I think that's the next good point to talk about.
Yeah, what do you got on that?
I mean, if you're more of a powerful style athlete, I mean, you definitely need to warm up your breathing, right? It's gonna get up there,
Mhm.
but you can tempo this workout where your heart rate doesn't have to get crazy jacked up. Um, like I said, if you're more of a powerful athlete, if you're more of like a fire breather cardio style person here, you can move quick and you're going to be okay.
Hmm.
But working on and practicing how you're going to breathe through each movement pattern is going to be slightly different,
Hmm.
right? The deadlifts versus like a power clean, you're going to expend a lot more energy there and how you breathe. You need to practice your breathing on your wall walks. I mean, even making sure like, oh, your overhead mobility, people are going to look at this workout, I'm like, oh, my overhead, fine, whatever. Go warm up your overhead mobility. So when you're upside down, you're not like super truncated like this and not able to open up your lungs and breathe.
Hmm.
Um, Same thing on the rower, right? Like there's different styles of breathing on this one. It just depends on what style athlete you are.
Hmm.
And I think there's two different entire ways people are going to attack this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I think regardless of what type of athlete you are, you definitely have to have your breathing patterns open. Not as bad on the deadlifts, breathing wise. Our arms aren't in any sort of weird position, so the thoracic spine, there's not a lot of compression on your spine during those. With the cleans though, there's that extension period and then the bars resting on the front rack. So there's going to be some breathing issues that start happening from the clean as well. You're kind of bending over into a little bit further of a position. There's not that elastic recoil. We're sitting in that kind of hunched over position a little bit more. So you're definitely going to want to make sure that you're able for both the snatches and the cleans be able to breathe in that hinged position, and like take a full breath of air in, because we're going to be spending a lot of time in that position, especially if you're going singles on the snatches as well as a pacing strategy. You're going to need to be able to breathe in that position. You're going to need to be able to breathe with that barbell overhead in the snatch position as well, especially if you're going touch and go reps, and then breathing as you're upside down, trying to not make sure that your body is like overly arched as you hit those wall walks and you're using pec. Um, you're really going to want to make sure that the big thing in all of that is like T spine's warmed up, abdominal walls warmed up, and your thoracic rotation is warmed up. So making sure that all three of those things are kind of in your warm up there will be super important. And being able to breathe in all those positions will be super important. So cool. You got anything else, Griff? Or
How would you say like one thing I'll add to this is like because this might hit most people is like as an RX athlete, the perfect way to attack this workout is basically what we had already mentioned. Consistent wall walks. Your goal is 4 to 6 seconds if you can, right across the board on those. Don't lose too much time.
mm-hmm.
The rowing, tw- around 1,200 for most guys,
Yeah.
900 to like 950 ish to 1,000 for the
Mm-hmm.
girls,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere in there. Again, I'm talking RX. Like you want to be higher, you're gonna have to go harder.
Yep.
Um, Again, wall walks consistency. The deadlifts here, you do need to try and touch and go those as a competitive RX athlete, but it could be 5 by 5, or even if it's 3 sets of 5, take that quick break, chalk, go back,
Mm-hmm.
or you could use 10 singles just at the end of it if you need
Yeah.
to, right?
Yeah.
If you already know the volume for you there, is that's where you could go take those singles, um, hit your wall walks, come back to your cleans, be consistent. No, do not just touch and go. Don't. Elite didn't need to. You don't need to.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it. Back to your wall walks, your snatches. This is going to be different for everybody. Most RX athletes, you could be okay getting away with singles here as long as you can still push that back row.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, having a solid, consistent strategy of just being able to tempo your like 3 to 5 reps. You don't have to do 5 at a time, um, but being consistent there and then sending the row. That's kind of the best way for the overall RX athlete. I just throw
Mm-hmm.
that out there because I know a lot of people are like, "Well, they're there. What do I do?" I'm like, that kind of reaches almost anybody. You can do
Mm-hmm.
really well with that strategy and
Mm-hmm.
have a very good time.
Yeah.
No, you're not going to be under. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be under 10 and a half minutes doing that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like because the elites, if you saw like the guys were rowing like that second row were like 1900,
Mm-hmm.
2000 calories an hour, but the front one down was like 1600,
Mm-hmm.
which is about pretty consistent
Mm-hmm.
about where they're going to be. Don't try to be over that. But like I said, most males should be around 1200 and females like 950 to 1000.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Um,
So
oh yeah, yeah. I think we're gonna see probably top 1% scores are gonna be around sub 11 minutes for guys. Probably it might be a little bit closer to that 10:30 time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Most elite athletes are probably like 200 and below will be around that 10:30 time frame for guys. 200 below
Yeah.
will probably be about 11:15, 11:30 for ladies. But that top 1% will probably be right around the 11-minute mark for guys and somewhere around 11:45, 12 minutes for ladies on this one, just because that cow row will take a little bit more time for them. So
Yeah.
I actually think that maybe last little thing, the cow row for the ladies is actually way more important on this workout. Um, it is actually a factor in this workout. I should say that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's going to be a lot of ladies that put up pretty good scores because they can row well. So,
Mm-hmm. Their barbell is also on like the lighter side
yeah,
too.
yeah. So, um, yeah, if you guys need any thoughts or help on anything, please reach out to us. We'd love to be able to help out. Especially I know we just mentioned the ladies thing. Like if you guys need more info on that, we'd love to be able to help out and kind of reach out on that. So reach out if you guys need any help. And I guess we'll catch you guys for age group and in affiliate semifinals. So good luck.